Got a few parts here I'm working on. I got from Annex Defense, American made stuff. So I got two different adapters to go from tripod ball heads to M-LOK. This is their bronze color. This is their black color. And then I also got a throw lever for the Atlas bipod. So I'll be putting those on. So I've been recently figuring out my tripod setup. I'm gonna have a video coming out soon. This was on a recommendation of a trainer. They were telling me that Leofoto, they thought some of the American companies were just relabeling their Leofoto tripods to their own brand name. So I ordered actually two of them. I'm going to be comparing them, and I think I'm actually going to end up returning one of them. And I'll get into that in that video. So please do subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the fun, cool stuff that we're doing. I got a couple different ball heads. This is a Leofoto LH40. I'll put a link to this on the description of this video. So if you just click the expand window, you'll get a link to this ball head. This is a good ball head. I've been playing around with this for a few days now. I'm going to get a second one and I'm going to compare them. But this one, depending on your tripod, you'll have ball bearings that this will groove into, and it has a really nice fluid motion. Going into these a little bit more, but these adapters, what they do is, this is called Arca. There's a couple different sizes of these. I have some tripods that I bought that are a larger size or non-standard size, but anyways, these are pretty standard, these Arca rails, and you mount these plates on your rifle. You can get, there's many companies making these now. Annex Defense ones, at least two of them, and then I'm going to try out a couple different ones as well. So yeah, the typical concept is this ball head, you lock this plate onto your rifle, and then this plate will lock onto the tripod. And it's a little different than using those side saddles, because some of those saddles, you're kind of you're stuck with that mechanism. But if you have this Arca system, you can use anything that photographers use, cinematographers use, and all of the different equipment that exists for that. So obviously, keep it simple. I mean, whatever works for you, that's great. These plates, I've noticed, I have a couple more of these, and again, I'll have another video coming out. So they are machined, and they have these little stop set screws, and one side has a limiter. So, I mean, this is going to be upside down, but that limiter will prevent over travel in one direction, whichever way you want that. Usually toward the trigger, you'll have the limit, so you're not going to slam. It has a stop on this side, and then it has these threaded holes up front for like little, almost like set screws. So you can even adjust that. And then it's got two M-LOK supports. This is their shortest one. It's about like, I think maybe 3.5 inches. So it's not, you know, you can buy the whole rail. I have another one I'm gonna get like that. That's coming on a different rifle. So kind of nice coloring. The anodizing came out really nice, black and bronze. And one note I wanted to make here for people who think they can, if they have these Manfrottos. This Manfrotto, I tried to tighten this down or get it flush. There is this center nut here that sticks up, and it does conflict with some of the different hardware that I have. I also have a Picatinny set up. I'm going to try out Arca to Picatinny, and I will show that in the next video. So that does not allow any of these Arca plates that are not machined in the center. It will not allow it to sit. So it's kind of a dumb thing. Obviously, you could take like a angle grinder or a grinder wheel or something and trim these nuts down if you have one of these tripods, these Manfrottos. They sell these at Best Buy. They're not really for rifle setups, but hey man, if that's all the budget you got and you need a tripod, you know, make it work. It's not really about spending as much as possible. It's about finding solutions that you can live with until you can save more money, or until, you know, you figure out what you want. Certainly more advised than going out and breaking the bank to buy expensive stuff if you can make cheaper stuff work. But keep an eye on these. If there is some other way that you're trying to get a tripod set up, keep in mind there can be little issues like that. So like on this Leofoto one, you see that nut is recessed, so there's absolutely no problem on these flat style plates utilizing the right type of ball head. I'm gonna get this mounted. This is a Barrett Mrad, the single mission rifle, not the highfalutin fancy one that you can swap barrels. Been pretty happy with this. It isn't 308. Sometimes I kind of wish it wasn't 6.5 Creedmoor, but you go to work with the tools you got. So it just makes me more proficient in 308, and I'll keep working on this. I got some new hand loads I put together. See if I can get some more range. The bronze plate, color's a little different. We'll add a little flash. Maybe I'll go black. I don't know yet. And then I'll be putting this, this is for, again, the Atlas bipods. These things can become kind of a pain in the ass when you're in the field and you want to make an adjustment, or you just want to tighten it down all the way so it's not canting or panning, whatever. It can be hard to get in here. You have to break your position. So this will sit towards you, and then you can kind of reach forward and just throw it. I have a nice thing. I was just actually looking at these on their Annex Defense website and saw this and said, oh, what the hell, I'll try it. Sure enough, Atlas levers can sometimes be a pain in the ass. And then the other thing is, if you get one of these Atlas bipods and you're having a little bit of trouble getting it locked down, I found that you sometimes have to exercise the threads, I'll put it that way, a few times, and then it'll sort of break in and it'll become manageable to where it'll be easier to get it cranked down one way or the other. That did happen to me. I have like 3 of these, and on one of them it was being weird, and then I just backed it in and out a few times, and then it ended up working whatever was in the threads, the finish or goo or whatever. It's still kind of nice to be able to have at least, you know, one-handed or better leverage on these locking knobs. So on this B&T lockdown lever, I have this max to the locking. Pan feature is not working right now, and then what I want to do is get this handle to where my lock is not interfering with my leg at 90 degrees. And then once I have it locked and I know that, then I'm going to go ahead and install, like, pushing the lever down and making sure it seats all the way. You're going to hear a little bit of scraping. That's just the inside of the finish. Whatever. We'll get that pushed on now. And just make sure it's seated all the way down to the lip. There's a lip in here. And then kind of nice thing about these Annex pieces is instead of using hex, they use torque. I put this black plate on here, but these are Torques. I think they're T25. And then this lever is T15. You can get the alignment you want. Now, one thing is if you have this locked, to go back to whatever it is, 115 degrees or whatever, the lever is going to be in the way. So if you do use that, I don't think I've ever used this angle. If you do, you'll either want to set it on the outside, which limits functionality. It limits your angle of adjustment, or get it locked to the maximum where you want your lever to sit in relation to the foot. So I don't at this point I don't go more than 90. Got that alignment where I want it. It's just right. It's like, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch away from the leg to where it will not hit the leg. So the next thing is to just lock down the screw. I got this tightened down now. Steel screw aluminum device, whatever. Be fair with it. I've broken screws. I didn't break this one. Seems like a pretty good quality screw. And just get it snug, at most a quarter turn more. And then if you find that that's not enough, you can tighten it just a little bit more. But if you go bonkers on it, then it will break. So I got this locked down. I got 90 degrees, and I got no conflict between here. It's now about a quarter inch. It's locked, and then if I want one-handed, I can turn it and then lock it again, and it's locked. One thing is, if you mess with this a lot, the movement of a base compared to the movement of the locking lever, it sort of backs itself out a little bit. So later on you may have to come and adjust this, but that's pretty good right there. And you are adding just a tiny bit of bulk, but neither of these cause any conflicts. I have a video on this. This is a Plano box. I actually got this from Costco, and when you order the Mrad, it comes with this cutout, which is really nice. But their Arca lock, no problem. And then this lever, it does hit when it's locked, but you can just put it a little bit up and it'll fit no problem. So now we'll check this thing out on the tripod. All right, so here is the Arca mount, and I got it in this Leofoto. Again, this is the LH40 ball mount, and this, honestly, this setup is fine. This is a pretty heavy rifle. This is like probably 16 pounds with everything. I'll put a link to this tripod too. I'll put a link to the Annex Defense products. You're encouraged to check them out. Fair prices, American made. And then for most people, I think this setup is going to be fine. I think Amazon actually has this on sale right now. And you can see I got it locked down just enough to where there's enough tension in here to hold this setup. And I mean, it's got a little bit more even. So I think this is rated for like 60 pounds. There's another one that I ordered that has a better ball mount up here, so you can get the lower handle. So when I get that, I will make a video comparing these two. But I mean, just so you can sort of see how great these setups are. I mean, you got all the control, and then it's basically supporting the rifle in an excellent position, and that mount isn't going anywhere. So I've got it locked in. You can see here where that little backer, that lip is, and then up here there is a space for those set screws, but it sort of depends on what mount you're using to get those in. I don't need them here, and I can get enough tension to lock this down. Now you're going to want to find a good balance point. I mean, if you're supporting the rifle, then you can mount this further up, but it's kind of nice to have it in the middle so it's not putting too much of a strain. And you can see I'm not touching it, and it's supporting all the weight itself. The other thing about this tripod is that the maximum here I think is 53 inches. So that's something to keep in mind about the height. It turns out it's the perfect height. There is an extension that comes with this tripod. I don't have it in, but that extension is not as solid of a mount as the way this is set up. Now, the other thing is, if you adjust these legs out, then you're going to lose some of the height. I'll get that in another video. Great economical solution. Area 419, there's a bunch of companies making these. They make like a full length, or you can get it. They have like several different lengths. You can get an Arca rail that traverses across the entire bottom rail, and then you can turn your bipod into an attachment that also works with that rail. So, I mean, there are other options, but I'm happy with this. I'm going to stick with this. I got one more. I ended up putting the black on here, I do have that bronze one. I'll figure that what I'm going to put that out on. But yeah, I mean, this is and I've got no gap in here, nothing. I mean, M-Lock is pretty darn tootin'. So thanks everybody for watching. Check them out if you need some. They got a couple different products as well. And this is kind of a nifty thing. I might get a few more of these. And that comes in handy, it seems. And do subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate all the support that we can get. And thank you to all of our current subscribers.